The second step in overcoming the past is we need to attach new, empowering meanings to the original event. So when we go through an experience like this, our brains are automatically and unconsciously going to create interpretations for what this means and what we should do. So, for example, an upsetting breakup could end up meaning that all men or all women can't be trusted. Or maybe what it means is that you should never give yourself totally and completely within a relationship just in case you get hurt. Or maybe what it means is that because of this breakup, you are fundamentally unlovable and undeserving of being loved. Now, it's not your fault if your brain unconsciously jumps to these kinds of conclusions, because when you are in pain and suffering, your brain is not operating on logic, it's just operating in survival mode. But obviously, if we keep living our lives with these meanings and interpretations running in the background, then obviously that's a recipe for disaster. But the good news is that none of these meanings are true. None of them have anything to do with reality. They are simply mistaken assumptions that are based in fear. And the great news about this is that this means that we get to choose what these things mean for us from now on, instead of having those meanings decided for us accidentally and haphazardly. So, for example, a history of abuse, that doesn't mean that you're damaged goods. What it really means is that now you're stronger, or now you have so much more compassion, or now you have so much more gratitude for all of the good in your life now and all of the good in the world. Or maybe what it means is that now you can make sure that nobody else ever has to go through that kind of suffering ever again. Or as another example, let's take guilt. Guilt doesn't mean that you deserve to be punished for the rest of your life. What it really means is that you have an opportunity to raise your standards so that you never have to violate those values ever again. At which point, once you have raised your standards, you've earned the right to move past your guilt. Or maybe what guilt really means is that now, actually, you finally have the motivation required to address some deep issues such as self-worth, that then in turn mean that you can finally be the blessing on the world that you were always meant to be. So when we recognize that none of these meanings have anything to do with reality, they are just mistaken assumptions that are founded in fear, then we finally have one of the key cornerstones to moving towards a life of emotional freedom.